Welcome to Intuition Unleashed, a revolution in personal liberation. The go-to podcast that helps you access intuitive guidance combined with mental health and spirituality. Let your intuition guide you and unlock a life of true liberation. And now your host, Becc Nelson.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Intuition Unleashed. It's a revolution in personal liberation. I'm your host, Becc Nelson. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, also soon to be adding hypnotherapy services, which I'm pretty excited about because it's so aligned. That's what we talk about on this show, right, Cindy? We talk about being aligned. Please welcome, this guest is not new to us because I had her on back in November, I think it was, or early December. And I keep, every time I say have somebody on, we like run out by the end. And by the end of the hour, I'm like, oh crap, that was far too short. I think my first show, I started off with 30 minutes. Please, girl, please. An hour. We need an hour. And then at the end of every hour, people are all going, oh my God, you need to have me back on because I have a bunch of stuff more to say. Cindy is back by popular demand because it is the start of a 1 year. So please welcome my guest back, Cindy Van Arnam. I'm always probably butchering your last name. Am I saying it right?
No, you got it. Nailed it.
Cindy is a numerologist, among other amazing things. The first time that she was on, we really talked about flowing with the energy of your numbers. You're probably better to explain it than me. But what I really love about numerology is that it's somewhat predictable. Mm-hmm. Although what you've talked about is not necessarily, there's always the exceptions to the rule. But that's what I love about it, because it feels somewhat safe because of that predictability.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And predictable, yes. Is it fortune telling? No, because we have free will, right? But just like we can predict what the weather is going to be like outside, we can predict what the energy is going to be. Astrologists do this as well with their magic that they weave in the world. But with numerology, it's simple, basic math. And so I find it to be A, simpler, B, more accurate, and C, it is more predictable because it is just the mathematical equation of the universe.
And here's the part about it that I can do. You are the expert on this. But what I find fascinating is that to find out the energy of any year, you take the 4 digits of the year and you add them all together, right? So this is the part I can do. And that I'm going to leave it up to you. Okay. So 2026 is literally 6 + 2 + 2, which is 10. And then you break it down to one number, which breaks it down to 1.
You got it. That's exactly how you do it.
And there are 9 energetic years.
Yes.
We just cycled through 9 years. Mm-hmm. And in 2026 is the beginning of a whole nother cycle. So this show is all about, what the heck does that mean? It's kind of going to be, I think, legitimizing what a lot of people are already feeling, because those are the messages that I've been getting. People are already feeling it. And what does that mean? And there's also an energy, which I just recently learned, didn't even think about it. There's an energy to each month.
Yes.
Which are also, those are in 9 cycles or 10 cycles. What did you say that was?
They're in 9 cycles as well. And on top of that, there's also an energy to every day.
And you can get an energy to you personally.
Yes.
Because this is a 1 energy year for the collective.
Correct.
But then we all have our own personal 9-year cycles.
Correct. Yes. And that's based off of your date of birth, which does require a personal reading. So we have our own personal day energy, our own personal year energy. We go through our own 9-year cycle as well. And that's all calculated off your date of birth. But when we look at the collective, we're looking at each particular day as that day of birth for the collective, in an easy way to say it.
And everybody's feeling this. And what somebody said to me, it may have even been you, think about where you were when we had this last 1 year, which was 2018, January 2018, correct?
2017, I think.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was you who said to me, think about where you were in January of 2017 and energetically, where have you cycled in those 9 years?
Yeah. And isn't that cool to reflect back on that? I mean, my life has changed exponentially. When I look back, I'm like, who even was I 9 years ago?
Yeah. But who do you now, the slate is clean, and who do you get
Yeah.
to be? Who do you choose to
Yes.
be at this point?
Yes.
So what I want to do is so many things. No,
So
an
many
hour's
things.
not going to be so many things. An hour's not going to be long enough again. But in
Yeah.
your last episode, this came up and it really intrigued me. You brought
Hmm.
up something called the arrow of determination. You
Hmm.
talked about how people today are wired differently than in past generations, and that
Hmm.
arrow of determination. And you said that you've been finding it absent. So can you please start there because I find that fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a little bit of a separate conversation from a new one energy cycle. But again, everything is layered, right? It's all part of the mathematical equation that's making us who we are today. But anybody who was born before 2000 has a one in their chart because of the 19. And that one energy gives us this sense of independence, this very like get stuff done kind of energy. I mean, even if you look back at anybody who was born before 2000s, we're very determined. We aren't hesitating to go and get stuff done. And then when we look at people who were born after 2000, us who were born in the 19s, go, man, you have no work ethic. You're really lazy, or so we perceive it. But it's all in the energetics. Because anybody who was born after 2000, most of them, some of them do, but most don't have a one in their chart. Unless it's in their month or their day of birth, it's not in the year, other than 2001, right? Or 2010. So most of them have this two in their chart, which is connection. I want to be with other people. I want to collaborate. I want to be more intuitive. I'm more emotional, right? And so these people who were born after 2000, we see them playing video games and talking with their friends. They're on social media all the time because they want that connection. Now, is that the best connection? That's up for perception. But that's the desire, is that they would rather be working with people, doing things with people, working very intuitively versus that one energy that gives us that like drive and hustle kind of energy and sense of independence. Again, separate from the one energy of 2026, but also it does make sense with what we're feeling right now as well.
And you're right, because those feelings can actually divide
Mhm.
people because there is that perception of you're lazy.
Yeah.
But are you saying that they're
A different way of
even
being.
saying they want connection? So video games over the internet is considered
It just
connection?
depends on the personality, right? But this is what I've been seeing, and I've raised stepsons who were born after 2000, and just watching them, like rather than playing a video game on their own, they'd rather talk to their friends through a headset, right? They're playing with other people, not doing it on their own. They like more of the group activities, the group video games, social media. That's why social media has taken off like crazy, is because we have this desire for more connection. Is that healthy? That's up for interpretation.
Sure. And it depends on the individual person. And I think
Yeah.
this is, very much related to, we're talking about the rhythms that are influenced, not determined by, but influenced by the number of people's charts.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because a kid that was born in, say, 2001, who maybe has like born in November, say November 14th or something, there's a lot of one in that chart, right? And so that all that one is going to make that child more independent, right? But they may feel very disconnected because everybody else is the two and they want to be with their friends and they want to connect. And all this one energy is like, yeah, I feel so misunderstood.
It's understood. I can align with that
Mhm.
word. Okay. All right. So we digress a tiny bit. Thank you for
Love it.
clarifying that, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain this to other people. And I'm like, I'm just going to ask Cindy and you can just replay it because I don't know how to, whatever she said, I'm going to ask her.
There you
So
go.
we are in a 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about what does that represent energetically, but January is also a 1 month.
No, January is a 2. You would think that it's a 1 because January is that first month of the year. But what we do with the math is we add the year and the month together. So it's 2026 plus 1 gives us the 2 energy of January. So February will be a 3, March will be a 4, and so on and so forth.
And that's okay. So January is a different energetic month every year. It's not the same.
Yes. Yeah. The month energy is going to change every year, as well as the daily energy is going to change every year as well.
Okay. And when you work with your clients, you use these energy cycles, both personally and for the collective, to help advise them about decisions that they should make in their personal and business lives, etc. Based on that.
Yes, absolutely. I can actually provide a very specific example for that right now because I know we love tangible around here. I do too. That's my thing. I was actually having this conversation this morning about my own chart. And, it's January. Everybody on the internet right now has got new offers coming out. They've got big goals for the year. And myself personally, I have slowed down a little bit. And I do this every year because my birthday is in March, which means my new year personally is in March. So I'm in this stage where most of the collective does this in November and December, but I'm actually in this place of slowing down, integrating lessons I've learned throughout this past year of mine. And I'm off to Mexico in 2 weeks to just take some vacation and spend some time with my fiance. So I'm not in this huge push. I'm not trying to set new goals and things like that. But how would you ever know that if you hadn't looked at your chart and had somebody say, actually, your rhythm shows that right now is not a hustle time. There's a time and a place for hustle, but not all of the time. And for myself personally, I'm in a slower season right now.
I mean, so when you're doing readings for people, what do you do if the energy of the collective crashes or doesn't mix well with the energy of them personally?
First of all, being armed with that information alone is a game changer because what do we do as human beings? This morning I woke up and I was like, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should be doing what everyone else is doing. And all I had to do was remind myself of my chart and my rhythm. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, low level guilt is gone now because I'm not supposed to be doing what everyone else is doing. So there are going to be times where the collective matches up with your chart. Then it's like smooth sailing. It's really easy. But other times it's more about working with your mind and your ego to help it understand this is not actually my rhythm. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean I have to.
You mentioned
It's
this
permission slip.
Whew, there's a lot of info there. So you had mentioned during the last show that your year personally, when you should set goals, is the month of your year starts at the month of your birth, not in January.
Correct.
So when people are making these New Year's resolutions, maybe that's why people are not. So many people fall off. They're putting that energy in at the wrong time for them personally.
100%. Unless you were born in January, January is not the time for New Year's resolutions. If you really want to be that person who sticks to new goals, the time to do it is right around your birthday. The 52 days leading up to your birthday is the time to dream about it, imagine what's possible, get into the feeling state of, ooh, this is what I'm going to do next year. And then after your birthday, for about 52-ish days, is the time to really settle into what are those things going to be and go try and experiment and try out new things. It's usually about a 52-day window.
Okay. That's why you're talking about leading up to March for you personally.
Yep. I'm going to Mexico. I'm just going to go travel and open my mind to new perspectives, new ways of living, new ways of being. And that's the perfect thing to do 52 days before your birthday.
Okay. So everybody just got a permission slip to go on vacation now.
Yes.
Okay. So are you able to sort of graze over what and the energy of each year is, and then we'll specifically go to the 1 year?
Yes, absolutely. So we're looking at a 9-year cycle. So in numerology, there's really only 9 numbers in existence, 1 through 9. Anything else is a combination of those numbers. So we're bringing it back to the basics. Now, the 0 is involved because it's 2026, and the 0 gets skipped over a lot, especially by numerologists, because we think 0 is nothing. But 0 is actually the source of all that is. It's that circle. It's the centerpiece. So we're not skipping over the 0, but I'm not going to talk about the 0 either. I just want to know everybody to know that it's in play. The 1 is new beginnings, fresh start. It feels exciting. It feels exhilarating. It feels like, ooh, I wonder what I could create. It's this sense of curiosity. But it also creates this sense of the unknown. I don't know. And that can create a lot of confusion. That can create a lot of brain fog of like, I thought I knew what I was doing and now I don't. The 2 energy brings in a little bit more of connection, a little bit more of the intuition. In the 2, we're kind of feeling our way through. In the 1, we're taking action without really knowing. And in the 2, we're starting to feel, ooh, this is the right move. Ooh, this is the right move. So we're intuitively going through, even though we still don't quite know what it is that we're doing. And that 2 energy, I always talk about the empowered side and the quote unquote disempowered side. And the disempowered side of the 2 is conflict, confusion, people not getting along, people not seeing both sides of the story. Then we move into the 3, and I'm moving through this really quickly because I know we only have an hour. So the 3 energy is extremely creative. The 3, 6, and 9, if you've ever heard that through numerology, we hear this just in regular circles. The 3, 6, and 9 are powerful generators for creativity. So the 3 is an amplifier. So whatever you did in the 1 and the 2 amplifies in the 3. So it can create all sorts of connection and network and play and excitement and new projects, and you're creating, and it just feels like it's flowing like crazy. I'm covered in goosebumps as I'm talking about the 3 because it amplifies, right? On the disempowered side of the 3, doubt, insecurity, I don't know what I'm doing, this isn't working, and we amplify that. So in 3 energy years, if you're not paying attention to your thoughts, 3 energy day, 3 energy month, if you're not paying attention to your thoughts, you can amplify that. And guess what? It's a creative engine. So it's going to create more of what you don't want. So you want to be paying attention. Now, the 4 is very grounded and structured. The 4 is planted. If you think of like all 4 legs of a table, it is solid. And it's that place where the foundation gets built. So you've had all this new ideas and collaborations and created. And now in the 4, you're like, all right, now let's go do something with this. I like to call the 4 the Clydesdale of getting things done. It is one step plodding ahead, one step at a time. It's very grounded and solid. Then comes the 5, and the 5 is about choice and freedom. And okay, that worked, but I don't really love it. So now I'm going to go over here. And the 5 is very fluid, very changeable. In a 5 energy year, guaranteed lots is going to change. So that 5 energy year is really an opportunity to make choices. I love that. More of that, please. I don't love that. We're going to stop doing that. Okay. And then the 6, again, creative engine. So that 6 is creating, but the 6 is more of a feedback. So now you're starting to see the feedback from everything you've been creating and building. And that 6 energy is saying, here's what you created. Do you like it? Or do you want something else? Here's what you created. Do you like it? Or do you want something else? Right? And it creates a little bit of an equilibrium where you have a moment to kind of balance things out. Did you have a question? I feel like you want to say something.
No, I'm
okay.
not, well, yes, but no, I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay. So the 7, 8, and 9, now here's where the rubber hits the road. The 7, 8, and 9 are masculine numbers. They are movement numbers. Now we have come to the place where you've looked, you've gotten the feedback. Now it's time to go. And it starts to pick up speed. If you haven't noticed, over the last 3 years, 2023, 4, and 5, things felt fast, right? That's that 7, 8, 9 energy. So the 7 is make decisions, move quickly, even if you don't know. It's learning to trust yourself and move. The opposite side of that, I don't know what decision to make, so I'm not going to make any decision at all. And then you don't move, and that causes problems, right? Now, the 8 is that momentum number. If you put the 8 on its side, it creates an infinity symbol. So you are now in the infinite loop. You have created the thing, and now we're doing it. Whether you like it or not, here we are,
Whatever it is,
right?
good or bad.
Whatever it is. So this is
Okay.
why we want to be paying attention in the earlier years, earlier days, depending on whether you're doing day, month, or year. And then once we get to the 9, which was 2025, now we've got all this experience of all the numbers. And now we're looking at it in reflection and going, wow, wow. So it's integration, it's reflection, it's celebration, big time. But it's also, I'm not carrying that with me anymore. I'm done, which
Shedding.
is what we experienced in 2025.
Can you give people an understanding of what you mean, a little bit more about what we saw in 2025, some examples of that?
Mhm. What I saw in my own world was I walked away from communities. I ended up clearing out digital files that have been storing for the last 10 years. I all of a sudden needed to purge my house, and closets got cleaned out. I ended up replacing kitchen appliances. Like there was all sorts of weird things that you wouldn't even think. It was never really like this is what's going to happen in 2025 and I'm predicting this. It was I was trusting what needed to go in the moment. But there was people that I walked away from. There were communities I walked away from. There were things that I was doing on a day-to-day basis that I was like, we're done with this. Habits, beliefs, thoughts, all sorts of stuff was just shedding. Also, loss of life, unfortunately. There were a lot of people that decided to transition in 2025 as well.
And where do you see this? Like, if we look at the collective, where are you seeing that reflected in the collective at large?
Similar fashion, like lots. It's funny. This is so many conversations I had in 2025 of people saying, man, 2025 really kicked my butt. But the biggest thing that I think I see is identity shift, where people spent, especially in the coaching industry, I watched a lot of people go quiet and pull back. I'm afraid to post any content because I don't know who I am right now. I'm not comfortable expressing myself in my new skin. I don't actually know what it is I want to say anymore. I've been saying the same thing for 9 years, but now it feels different. It's got a different flavor to it. And I don't know how to express that. And so a lot of people pulled back in 2025, but I think that's about to change.
Okay. And we also, I think, see this reflected in our politics and what's happening around the world.
Yes. And I can't speak to a lot of politics or anything of global news because I don't watch the news. I'm of the firm opinion that when you take care of yourself, the rest of it takes care of itself. However, I do know some things, and it's messy. It's very, very messy. And the reason for that, if you think about, I think I talked about this on the last episode, the 9 is like when you go and empty out your clothes closet. You don't neatly take everything out of your closet and place it in nice little piles. You rip stuff out of your closet like crazy. It's tossed all over the floor and it's a big giant mess. That's what we've got going on globally right now. But the 1 is now the place where we start putting things back in the proverbial closet, political, educational, whatever, with intention. Now we get to start building something new.
Okay. So it's a new start, but why
Yeah.
what does it represent energetically? Because it feels like it's disorienting and uncomfortable for people.
Yeah. Because I mean, even if you look at, Chinese New Year, it's last year was the year of the snake, right? We shed that skin and now we're like, who am I? I don't even know, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And that 1 energy is meant to do that for us because it feels uncomfortable to continue behaving or thinking or believing in the way you used to. But you're in this new skin that you're like, but I also don't know where I'm supposed to be going.
Okay. And you see that reflected, and you work with people in business a lot. And so you're seeing that in people's businesses.
Absolutely.
I don't know who I am anymore, but what I do know is what I don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The other thing that's showing up in the one energy too is that one is a place of being curious. It's about curiosity. The one is also about innovation. And so when we've had habits or behaviors or thoughts or anything that we've been carrying along for 9 years and we've now let go of it, now we're in this place of like, okay, but now what do I do?
Uh-huh.
Right? And that can be disorienting for anybody because humans are creatures of habit. That's what we are. And it's as if 20 habits got removed all at once, metaphorically. And now we're like these brand new little babies going, I don't know how to walk, right? And so, if I could give any advice on how to navigate that, the first thing to do is to not worry about how, to act as if you are a 5-year-old. If you've ever watched a 5-year-old running around in the playground, they are so curious and they are so fascinated with the tiniest little details. Look at the caterpillar. Oh my God, look at this rock. It's got so pink in it. Look at it's pink, right? That's the kind of energy that we want to approach our world with right now and our business. Curiosity, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you knew all the steps to get to where you want to go, you would have already done it. And so not have being attached to how to do it, but rather being open to new ways of doing it. Because 9 years is over, we're done.
So you work with a lot of people. Can you give a real life example of that?
Yeah, absolutely. A client that I worked with today, actually, I've been working with her for a year now, and she had a membership that she developed, and she had a couple of offers that she was working with, but nothing quite really settled in. Every time last year, she would work on it, and then she'd be like, and I don't really know that this is actually where I want to go. I don't really know that this is. And so she would second guess herself a lot, and she would always question, maybe this isn't it. Maybe this isn't it. But what we were doing was flushing out all the things out of the proverbial closet that weren't what she wanted, right? And then today, of all days, I love that our podcast is at the same day that I get to share this story. It all landed for her because she let go of the need to know how. And I asked her, can you just lean into what's possible and what you love? And just give me a voice note on that. So she riffed on it, and all of a sudden, bang, boop, 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 boop. Membership was developed. It's already off the ground.
And the how is being taken care of by the energy of this one.
Yes. And when we're open to the curiosity and I don't know how, but I'm willing to figure out, our intuition starts plugging in the holes. Our intuition starts going, ooh, you need to connect to this person. Ooh, remember that exercise you used to do with clients 6 years ago that you haven't done? What if we include that? Right? Your intuition starts to pick up on the threads that you're actually meant to be using versus our ego trying to figure out all the step by step process.
And your ego also saying that's impossible. That's probably not going to work. You just okay. Well,
that opens a can of worms. I know.
Would you believe that we're already ready to take our 2-minute break? And when we come back, I'm probably way off the topic now, but when we come back with Cindy from our break, we're going to be talking about the energy of the months and sort of how we can all negotiate together the energy of this 1 year in a way that's going to benefit all of us energetically.
Perfect.
We're leading in boardrooms and living rooms, in startups and schools, on stages and in silence. The Lead, Live, and Love Like a Woman trilogy is a bold, unapologetic book series for women who are done waiting for permission. Hi, I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and I didn't create this trilogy to teach women how to lead, live, or love. We are already doing that. We need your voices. Apply now to become a co-author and share your story in this powerful movement. Visit balancesymmetry.com.
Are you ready to break free from self-sabotaging patterns and reclaim your power? I'm Becc Nelson, licensed therapist, spiritual mentor, and psychic medium, helping individuals achieve true personal liberation through my Beccology framework. This step-by-step system shifts your mindset, strengthens your intuition, and empowers lasting change. Work with me through single sessions, 90-day or 6-month programs, or explore my courses, books, and coaching. Visit becknelson.com to get started.
Do you want to better understand and embrace neurodiversity? I'm Dr. Lori Noto, with over 30 years of experience working with diverse and unique individuals. Through my consulting and purpose-driven life coaching, I focus on empowering individuals with disabilities. My passion is advocacy, providing the tools for neurodiverse individuals to thrive and feel included in classrooms, workplaces, and communities. Unlock the potential of possibility, power, and purpose. Connect with me today at notoholisticconsulting.com.
Hello, welcome back to the show. We are here with Cindy Van Arnam, and we're talking about the energy of a 1 year. And Cindy is telling us it is about new beginnings. It's about shedding what we know we don't want. This is what I always talk about with people, with my clients, because people are great at saying, I don't want this. What they have a hard time identifying is, what do you want instead? And then they go, and how are you supposed to have direction if you don't know what you do want it to look like? As far as picking jobs and that sort of thing, I know I don't want a corporate job. I know I don't want a job working with kids. So what do you want?
Yeah.
And this is the energy of this 1 year. And then there's this notion of letting go of the how. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yes. Well, if I could give any advice about figuring out what you do want, it ties into the one. Go experiment and try new things. Don't sign up for a year-long yoga membership if you don't know if you like yoga. Just go take a class and experiment. I decided this year I'm going to learn how to speak Spanish, but I'm playing with it like a child. I'm not like, I've got to learn Spanish and I got to show up for my lesson every day and commit to a year-long thing. I'm just having fun with it. So that's the biggest thing, is to just be like a child, explore your world with childlike wonder, and go try new things, even if they scare the crap out of you. In fact, even better if they do.
Ooh, that's always where the growth is, right? When it's something that scares you. So I like those practical examples. So you're saying play, and that's hard for a lot of us. We want predictability. We want to know what to expect.
And that ties into the conversation about letting go of the how. And I think this is a really important conversation because it's been one of my biggest growth things. The desire to know how is a control mechanism. If I know 5 steps ahead of me, then my life is under control. Then I feel safe. Now, I used to be a project manager, so I was trained to look at the end result, reverse engineer step by step by step. But in doing that, you leave zero room for magic. The universe is very precise, and it's paying attention to your frequency. And you trying to control every step of the process is you saying, no, universe, I know better than you. We're going to do it my way. And I don't know about you, but that's never worked in my favor. So how do we let go of the how? It's a practice. There is no one magic, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and now we're no longer trying to control it. For me, it's been a daily practice of asking myself, what is one thing that I can do today to move the needle on my goal? And am I willing to take a step back after I take that one action and readjust? Because every time you take an action towards your goal, and I'll give you a practical example here, every single time you take an action towards your goal, the universe then rearranges itself based off of your action to then move you to the next stage. But if you've got your head down, blinders on, and you're just like, we're doing this thing and then this thing and then this thing and then this thing, you forget to look up and you missed 4 phone calls from people who want to work with you, where the universe has already conspired to make this happen, but you're not paying attention. So, number one thing with this one energy, look up daily. Look up from your devices, look up from your work, look up from the thing that's right in front of you, and take a beat. Just take a breath. That in itself will help you to let go of the control, because when you look up, you're going to see somebody at the grocery line who you've meant to talk to. You're going to connect with some stranger instead of staring at your phone in the lineup. You're going to look up and be like, hey, oh my gosh, I've been meaning to reach out to you. That's the magic that shows up. But if we're not paying attention because we're trying to control, then we miss it. Is that helpful?
Okay. Ooh, I'm already, in my head, I'm already making dinner after the show's done. So I see exactly.
Well, there's certain things that we can control. But another example of that, let's get into like just the basics of dinner, right? I meal plan. So I know exactly what's for dinner every day of the week. I have the right amount of groceries. I don't do food waste in my house. Yes, I have control issues. There are certain things that we can control and certain things we can't. However, here's how I let magic come in. Wednesday night, I had an amazing day on Tuesday night, let me rephrase that. Tuesday night, I had an amazing day on Tuesday. I was celebrating. I was having the best day. I was super productive. I was like getting stuff done and messaging my fiance. And he came home and he'd also had a great day. And he said, honey, why don't we go out for dinner? And I said, okay, I have a meal plan. I know exactly what's for dinner. Or I could just push that off to tomorrow and I could go out for dinner, because you never know what kind of magic is going to come, right? And so it's just those little things of, yes, there are certain things I can control, but am I paying attention enough to see where there might be a detour?
Opportunities.
An opportunity.
Was there at dinner?
Absolutely. We went out for dinner and had a great dinner out together. I got to connect with my fiance on another level, and yeah, it was great.
Okay.
And then we had dinner the next day.
I mean, I think, it would be great for people to be able to, I wish people would have examples of like specifically so that people can get more of an idea of what that means for them. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the energy of each month.
Yes.
In relation to this new cycle. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So January, like we said, is a 2 energy month. So the 2 is intuitive. It's about connection. It's about partnership and connecting with other people. So we're going to find all year long that in-person events are going to be very popular. People want to be with each other. We've been very isolated for the last little while, pandemic and everything else that happened over the last several years. And we've got this craving for real connection with the inclusion of AI taking over the internet and everything else. We just desire that human connection, and the 2 energy is very conducive for that. So I realize we're at January 15th right now, but go out to a local event. Find what's going on in your local community. Go to the market and lift your head up and smile at people and talk to people. As we move into February, like jumping to March already, because February is like, I'm in Mexico, I don't care. So February is a 3 energy. So that 3 energy is very expansive. It's amplifying everything. So if we layer that with the 1, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm open and I'm curious and willing to try new things without needing to know how. I know that's a lot to ask. Mm-hmm. And then the 3 is like, whee, let's amplify that. So if I could give any piece of advice for February, and this is why I booked a trip to Mexico, go play, have fun, stop taking your life so seriously. The only reason you take things seriously and try to control things is because you've been programmed that that's what you're supposed to do as an adult. Remember what you were like when you were 5 years old. Your heart desires expression and play. Go do some finger painting just for fun. Go run around in the playground with little kids and see what happens. Don't get arrested. Go and try a new class that you've been meaning to but kept putting it off because, oh, I don't know, I'm going to feel a little foolish. Go feel foolish because that's the energy. It's creating new things in February. When we get into March, things are going to settle down. We've got a 4 energy in March, that very foundational, very structural, very like Clydesdale of getting things done. Now, we also have Mercury retrograde coming in, so the beginning of March is going to be a little bumpy. But once we get to the end of March, it's like, okay, now I know where I'm going. I might not have all the answers. I might not have it all figured out. I'm still experimenting. I'm still in curiosity, but I have a plan. So March is going to feel a little like, whew, okay, I feel like I have some semblance of control now. I feel a little more grounded. So the first quarter of the year, if you don't know how to ground yourself, get yourself out on bare feet in the grass, go hug a tree, lay down flat on your back, deep breathing exercises, anything like that is going to help support the nervous system as we navigate all this new energy. Now, as we move beyond, I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker because for the sake of time and things are going to shift. So the 5 energy, again, it's changeability. So after March, you're going to have a plan. And then in April, you're going to be like, okay, and every well-laid plan also changes. So you're going to see where things work, where things don't, and you're going to need to adjust accordingly. Then once we move into the 6 energy month, I've lost track of which month is which now. It just goes linearly. So as we move into that 6 energy month, we're going to have this moment of like, let's take another breath, because that 5 energy was like, kind of threw things up in the air after the plan. And now the 6 things are starting to settle. Now let's find the equilibrium. Let's find our footing again. Again, that 6 being a creative energy, you're going to want to spend time in creation, but in creation for the future version of yourself. So what do I mean by that? If I want to, let's say for business, create a $20,000 consistent revenue coming into my business month after month after month, but I'm only at 10, I need to make decisions based off who that $20,000 a month person is, not decisions based on who I am today. And so in that 6 energy, we need to be kind of future casting a little bit, looking at where am I going to be by the end of the year, and what decisions does the woman who, or human that I am in December make? Does she make that investment? Does he start going for a walk every day? Does he, I don't know, make that phone call? Like, and I, without having, like I'm not a fortune teller, right? So it's that type of energy though. Then as we move into the 7, 8, and 9, things are going to move quicker. So the summer is going to move very fast, right? We've got that momentum starting to build. So 7, 8, and 9 creates this energy of deciding very, very quickly, even if you don't know. That's really the goal here in that 7 energy month is you've got 2 choices in front of you. Trust your intuition and move. It doesn't matter which direction you choose because you cannot choose wrong. The only thing you don't want to do is stand still. Because if you stand still, you're going to get the exact same results you've been getting. And if you're listening to this show, you're all about transformation, yes? So make a decision. The 7 is really about learning to trust yourself as you are taking the action. That's where the confidence comes from. So if you've never done a Facebook Live before, but you're like, should I do a Facebook Live? Just go do the Facebook Live. You'll figure it out, right? Instead of trying to figure out all the technology and overthinking it and stressing yourself out into a state of anxiety because, oh my God, I don't even know where the go live button is. Just go and figure it out. And then the next time you do it, you'll have more confidence. And then you'll do it again and you'll have even more confidence, which then leads us into the 8, momentum. And then the 9, we have another month of that 9 energy where we get to go, okay, now let's look at our year so far and let's see what's going forward with us. Now, September and October is always a loop. So September is always the energy of the year. So in 2025, September was a 9 energy month. So in 2026, September is going to be a 1 energy month. So that August energy is the shedding. See, I got myself back to which month is which number.
Thank you. Yes, that was helpful.
Yeah. So August is that shedding and that reflection and that celebration energy and the integration, which then moves us into September, which is going to give us that, like, okay, now the wheels are turning. Now I'm in this one energy. Now I've got it kind of figured out. So you've got a lot of time to figure it out. October is always a taste test of the next year. Always. So October is going to be a 2 energy month. That's going to give us a taste test of 2027. October is always what I call the dipping in the toe energy. What's this going to feel like? What's this going to experience like? And so that gives us a taste test. And then as we move forward, we go into the 3 and the 4 again. That was rapid fire.
Oof. I mean, and it's hard to, like, how do you apply this? People must be like, how do you apply this to your life? Like, what does this mean for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I heard a lot was stop trying to figure out how, stop trying to control everything. How, like you mentioned, like, well, how am I going to pay for this? That comes up a lot.
Yeah. And again, it's really an opportunity for us to learn to trust ourselves even more. That 1 energy is that independent number, right? It's the 1. It stands on its own. It's a very physical number, which means go take the action and trust yourself. And I know that's hard to say too. Like, how do I trust myself, right? And the only way to learn how to trust yourself is to move, is to take the action. Like we were talking about with the Facebook Live, go figure it out. You have done really hard things in your life. You have overcome crazy circumstances in your life. I don't care who's listening to this or who I'm talking to. You have overcome incredibly hard things. You can do it again.
So how would somebody use this information? Like, people are not going to use their personal chart. How do people use this information without knowing that piece?
Yeah, without knowing that piece, I have a membership called the Daily Digits membership where I literally give you the information. I say, this is what you do every single day. This is what you can, here's a journal prompt. Here's what an action step that you can take today to leverage this energy. I also offer, monthly forecasts, quarterly forecasts. I do all of that in the membership and my clients in that space learn how to work with the rhythm, because it's not about one individual day. Yeah, okay, you could take an action on one day, but if you're not creating a practice out of this, then you're kind of still winging it, right? If you know 6 days from now, it's going to be this particular number, and this is the action that needs to be taken on this day, you can then plan accordingly and map out your day to day, map out your weeks, your months, your quarters. It makes it so simple. And for me, I live and breathe this stuff. This is what I operate my life on. People will say it's Monday, and I'm like, that's cool, but I ain't doing anything today because it's this number, right? It just depends.
I mean, if you can do that, yeah, right. Not everybody can do that. But
Yes.
So what you're kind of saying is people don't have to pay attention to what you're saying. They don't have to respect the rhythms of the months or the years. But if they don't, that's when they're going to start to feel this stuck energy. They're going to feel dissatisfied with where they are.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing I will preface is that no one is ever at the whim of the numbers of the stars, of the lunar cycles or anything. You're never at the whim. You have free will. You have the ability to go against the grain, we'll call it. But what I can say from personal experience is it's a heck of a lot easier to go with the rhythm. Because then it's like you're floating down the river in a kayak and all of a sudden a big boulder shows up in the way. Do you try to dig the boulder out of the river, or do you just go around it? Right? And that's kind of the magic once you start tapping into this rhythm, is you start to see, oh, that's just a boulder, I can go around it. It also helps you let go of the control piece a little bit too.
Oof, again, there's that word again. So so what are some things that people would do this year, if people said, nope, I'm going to keep that boulder, what are some things that people would just keep on doing that a one energy is going to be like, oh, no, you don't?
Yeah. Yeah. Hanging around people that are toxic, they're toxic, but you continue to hang around them, it's going to hurt. Continuing habits that you've carried for the last 9 years that aren't supporting you, that's going to be tricky. Trying to run your business the same way you've always done it, not going to work. Trying to, launch programs and do offers the way that you've always marketed it and trying to stick to the same old repeatable programming, it ain't going to work. You've got to be innovative. You've got to be trying new things. And if you're not, it's going to be more uncomfortable to stay where you are than it is to go and do something that scares the royal crap out of you and just lean in.
Okay, so you're actually making a really good point that a lot of people that I know that hopefully are listening to this need to hear, because there's that place where people say, this job sucks, right? But it scares me more to think about what I would have to do to find a new job and all that's involved in that. That's going to scare me more than staying in this job that I know sucks.
Oh, goosebumps. Yes. Because think about where you're going to be 9 years from now. Is the version, it's the activities or the things you're doing and the people you hang out with still what you want 9 years from now? And if the answer is no, get rid of it now. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody to go quit their job. You got to have some sort of plan, right? It's not like if you've got mouths to feed and kids to take care of, don't just go quit your job without having some sort of plan, right? But also be open to new opportunities, possibilities. I was having a conversation in a mastermind today, a woman who has been saying for months, I'm going to let go of this branch of my business. I don't want to do this work anymore. I want to go over here. I want to do more of this. This is my magic. This is my zone of genius. Well, guess what? 2 of her clients just fired her today. The universe is going to make it happen.
Yep. They're like, we tried to tell you.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is that because of the energy of this year, it's actually going to become harder to stay in something that is actually toxic. Whereas in other years, you can be like, whatever, I can take it or leave it.
I'll just deal with it. Yeah. You can't,
this year
we won't be able to deal with it anymore.
Okay. No. And that goes for relationships. I'm in the house that I know isn't wrong for me, or this job, anything.
Yeah.
Anything you can think of. Okay. Yeah. So, you briefly, you had this thing where you use me as an example, right?
Yes.
To kind of, so my birthday is June 15th. We won't say the year, but Cindy knows the year.
Yes. So what I want to do is offer a little bit of a personal year reading for you based off of this one energy, but I'm going to layer your chart in it so that you can get a sense of what you can experience this year. Yeah. So you, based off of your, what we call a ruling number, for those of you out there who understand a little bit of numerology, it's called a life path number. I've just changed the language. That's all it is. But we're looking at your ruling number, and this is really for you about the long, slow burn. So when you get an idea, you want to run with it, but not from a place where you're like, oh my God, I got to do that. And you get all frazzled and excited. And then have you ever noticed when you get really excited about ideas like that, then 3 weeks go by and kind of the energy drops a little bit, and then maybe you don't follow through on it. So you're like, I thought it was a great idea, but maybe it's not. For you this year, the best thing you can do is, instead of the big burst of flame, it's like a bonfire, right? If you throw kindling on a fire with some lighter fluid, it's going to go and then it's going to go out. We don't want that for you this year. This year, we want to throw pallets on the fire and get the long, slow burn all year long. So it's not this quick flash and then die, quick flash and then die. What we want is the constant flame that's just always there.
Feeding it.
And so for you, number one, navigating your nervous system so that you're not having those super highs and super lows. Stay grounded as much as you possibly can this year. Go for walks in nature, if that's something you like to do. Yoga, Pilates, anything like that. That's slow, gentle movement. Think slow, think long marathon, not quick flash in the pan. How's that feel for you?
Interesting, because I just was informed that I have a torn meniscus, which means I'll probably have to be on crutches for a while and have some surgery, which is going to force me to slow down, not my usual energy. So the universe is like, we are doing this for you.
You can't make this stuff up, I swear.
Mm-hmm. So key themes for the year, key takeaways for this energy of this 1 year for the collective, please.
Yes. Curiosity. Please be open. Keep your head up and make eye contact with people. That's the biggest thing. If you are standing in the grocery line, put your phone in your pocket and look at people. You never know what opportunity is available to you just by lifting up your head. Stop sitting in front of your computer for 8 hours straight, just doing the thing and going through the motions. Take lots of breaks, stay grounded, and lean into new ideas, new ways of doing things, things that you never even thought of before are likely to start dropping in for you. So stay open. I am open, I am curious, and I am willing to see what's possible.
And
that's the theme for the year.
Playful.
Yes, and be playful.
Okay. And people need to step into the possibilities instead of figuring out the how.
Yes.
Just because when you figure out those possibilities, the universe will take care of the how.
Yes.
Ooh, exactly. Trust. I'm hearing trust there.
Yeah, big time.
Cindy, I am so happy that I just trusted and allowed myself to connect with you. Thanks to some mutual connections we have. I just adore you. And I love it when you're on. Everybody has been waiting for this episode. So I hope everybody got with it. And of course, they can connect with you. Your website is actually listed under your picture there. They can connect with you and get their own personal readings if they're interested in learning more. You also have some free resources on there on your website. So thank you so much for coming in and talking again. And as we always say at the end, you need to come back so we can talk about more next time.
Anytime. I love this.
We love having you on. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you so much.
You know what, everybody, we appreciate you being on, and please send in go check out Cindy and get yourself some play this year. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Intuition Unleashed. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. But before you go, we have one little challenge for you. Most of us have sneaky little habits that hold us back and trip us up. So why not take this not at all uncomfortable quiz to find out what you do to derail yourself from achieving your goals and how you can call yourself out on your own BS. So get to know your self-sabotage specialty and take the first step towards getting out of the way of your own success. Just visit https:/becknelson.com/quiz and take the quiz now. That's becknelson.com/quiz, and we can't wait to see your results. As always, we'll be back next week with more Intuition Unleashed. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening.